Hello and welcome to part two of our Christmas special. As promised, here we are in Brazil, Sao Paulo, with the Williams FW14, not the 14B from 1992, but the 1991 FW14. Uh, Absolutely sensational car. There's Renault V10 power, absolutely beautiful sound. And without further ado, we'll jump straight into it because no doubt you will be getting ready to get your presents wrapped and under the trees, getting ready for Santa to turn up. And get ready for the day that is Christmas. So let's crack on with it, shall we? So here we are. We're going to jump straight into it. Beautiful Renault V10 engine, as you heard in the lap previously in that video. Coming into this first corner, coming down into second gear in this one. As I mentioned before, with the classic cars in F1 games, trying to drive them, they're great. Don't get me wrong, they are brilliant. But trying to work them, especially like you would do with a modern F1 car, so F1 22, 23, 24, 25 as an example, with V6 power behind them, even F1 2020 and 21 as well, just to put aside of that, it's a completely different beast. So trying to adapt to the classic cars with the different traction, a different power, it presents its own unique challenge. And I love the challenge with this one. It did present its challenges. It was brilliant. I love doing this one. Coming into here, quickly going in, hitting the apex, lovely there. Going for center S's there. Went a bit too wide here. Okay, I should have got a bit more tighter to the curb here, which would have given me a nice launch off from that corner to go into the next part or next corner as such. So here we go, starting to go through. A beautiful. I'm hearing the engine sound in my ear whilst talking over this. It's a beautiful sound. Coming down, we're going to brake again, like I always do in these types of videos, between the 100 meter to 50 meter board, depending on the track you're at. Here it's perfect to be smack bang in the middle to start braking, because again, modern F1 cars, you would be braking in between that anyway, if not a little bit later, because of that braking power that we have. But don't forget, the power that generates from that braking goes straight into the battery pack for modern cars, so we can deploy later on with the ERS. With these, on the other hand, you don't have that power. Completely different technology to what we've got now. So between 100 meters to 50 meters, bang on. Want to come into this corner around about third gear, then quickly change to fourth because we want to get that power down, traction down straight away. Love that camera angle. And coming up to here now, I'll admit with this one, I struggle to get it into the corner because I'm going to refer a lot to modern day F1 cars. But with this one, you can actually go down get to this point around about 7th, 8th gear, and then you can knock it down a couple of gears and keep that foot flat down still going into this corner, just to keep that traction, keep that grip, which the ground effect does. With a 1991 car, that's not possible. So I have to just about here, if you of course watched it before I talk over it, but I have to lift off going into that corner quite a bit actually, just try and keep control of the car, which is very unusual for me to do this, but I had to on this occasion. But I think next time I would trust my gut a bit more and actually keep my foot planted to try and make that corner a bit more interesting. But just to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, keep it a bit more flat-footed this time, or next time. Try and get more power in there. Try and make a bit more time as well, because I think going in that off the foot off throttle as such to lose speed, which is always a bad thing in Formula 1. I think I lost around about 2-3 tenths in that bit alone. So this lap in total was around a 1:15 round about then, if I remember correctly, if not a little bit slower than that. But it doesn't matter. In this section, by coming off from that throttle and coming off from that power, I've lost about 2-3 tenths. So trying to make that up in the rest of the lap you're not going to do it, especially in an old car like this. We're going to it into second gear at this point, perfectly across the curb there. Again, in second still, going into third now. Lovely slide of the car there. Coming into here now. Now again, as I've done with the Brawn GP in Vietnam, I basically stopped going into the corner. I pretty much done the same thing there. I pretty much slammed the brakes on, going into there in first gear, I think, for this one, if I remember correctly. Wrong thing to do. Brake as I would do normally in a modern F1 car, but I'd actually release the brake a bit more, so it's still gaining, still having that speed which you're going into there, just to allow you to nicely roll move them there, roll into the corner there. So then it can allow you to then drift out nicely, or as I do, lose the rear end. But going straight through the gears now, again, that Renault V10 doing its work. Touched a little bit of grass there. But it can come through here, third gear, a little bit wobbly on the exit here, coming up now onto this beautiful complex of corners. Hit the curb a bit too much there. On the grass again there. Bouncing our way across the line. There we go. Thank you, F1 2020, for allowing me to do that. So yeah, Brazil's always a shorter track. So being able to do this in that quicker sense of things, it is a lot more better. And of course, with this being the 1991 Williams FW14, we all know what happened and what came in 1992 with the FW14B, the all-dominant car with the active air suspension and all the other technology bits that came with it. It was simply sensational, which saw Nigel Mansell win his world championship. But still, the FW14, still an amazing car, still fantastic. But as you've seen with me in these classic cars, especially the Born GP one as well in Vietnam, which I've done last week in the first part of the special, these classic cars are so difficult to get control of. You got to get the power and balance absolutely right when it comes to this. As you saw there, I was drifting out of corners, losing the rear end, which I don't mind that. I love that in an F1 car, in any car really. I love losing the rear end because you get that feel, you get that control of it. But doing that around Brazil, a lot of arse-twitching moments aplenty. But I know what I'll do if I'd done this again. More power going into that long corner which we went into, where I said I came off that throttle too much, losing about 2 or 3 tenths in there. Keep the foot down in there. Probably down into third in that one rather than fifth, which you would do in a modern F1 car. You're just keeping that power down, keeping that time there, because gaining that time can improve your time as well. And again, just coming out some of the corners as you saw of the car slipping, sliding around, losing that rear end. Again, just thinking about how I would apply the throttle going out of that corner, thinking about the gear I'm in as well. Because unfortunately, driving the modern F1 cars as they are in F1 25, F1 24, and so on and so forth, you find a way and find a rhythm with those so you don't use the rear end too much. Trying to apply that to classic cars is a completely different story. So it is it's a learning curve again. I'm relearning how to drive basically classic cars. But really what you should be able to do is be able to take what you can do in a modern F1 car and take it back to those classic cars. It's just that, of course, the engines are different. The technology used is different as well. So it's those sorts of things, really, that we have to think of and we have to be mindful of. Okay, but it's back to drawing board for me, back to learning school for me on classic cars. But that's it on this one. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Get everything that you deserved and desired for as well. Of course, Sans has been very busy this year, being good boys and girls, or man and woman, or non-binary, they, them, everything else, just to put all the context out there. And we will see you on New Year's Day, because that is when our next one will launch. We are going to be going around Malaysia with this one, in the 2007 Ferrari, the last Ferrari to win a driver's title with Kimi Raikkonen. Oh, if you thought this was a bit arse-twitchy, like going around some corners, watch the short that launches, I think, on New Year's Eve, because you will see some twitchy moments throughout that one. But until then, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on New Year's Day. Of course, at this time of year, for those that suffer with mental health, it is probably the worst time of the year for them, of thinking that they can't reach out and ask for any help and talk to anyone. But it's one thing that I've learned over the past few months and throughout this year, is that it's okay not to be okay. And you'll see on screen now with Samaritans on there, they are a fantastic charity. Please, if you are feeling low, and are questioning your choices and your thoughts, please reach out to these guys. They are absolutely amazing. Please, please, please do. Remember, it's okay not to be okay.